Good morning, you guys. Today I thought I'd bring you through the welcome garden. It's been a little while since we've been out here, and so much has changed since we were last out here with all the tulip flowers. My perennials all started coming in. I've pulled most of my pansies, and I've got this gorgeous super tunia border. My planters are all filling in. Everything's looking good. It has been so hot here. We had like several 100-degree days and a lot of rain. So there's a lot to see. Are you ready to get your bloom on? Let's go. So before we start, I thought I'd kind of quickly show you, I don't know if you could see my puppy's face in the window over there, but he's watching me film right now. My planters are all looking so good. I love the obelisks. They look so amazing. And I haven't changed out my wreaths yet. I have 2 wreaths that I use every year that I was thinking of using in its place, but I don't know, I've just kind of kept them up for right now. They don't really match my planters, but I still really like them. So I don't know, I haven't changed them out yet. But anyway, my planters are looking really good. I do feed them with slow release fertilizer at planting. I'll tag it here in the video so you know what I use. And I also do follow up with a bloom booster just to kind of keep those flowers coming. I love them. I mean, I just think they look so good, right? So pretty. So anyway, we don't really have any flowers going on in here yet per se, but we do have a lot of black-eyed Susans really coming in. And as you can see, I've needed to set up some garden stakes. This will help keep them from falling over onto the walkway. You might be wondering what the little pots are for. I get asked this all the time. And the reason why I put them there is so that when I'm weeding or doing anything, I don't accidentally like poke my eye out, number one. This one fell off and broke when my landscapers were here the other day, so I gotta replace that one. So that's number one. That's one of the reasons why I use it. Another reason, not so much in this garden, but you can stuff those little terracotta pots with newspaper, and you can collect earwigs in there and organically dispose of them because they like to crawl in and hide. So that's another thing. And I also think they look really cute. I mean, that versus that, right? Like, it just looks so much better. So from this view, you can see it really coming along and looking really lush. You can see all of my houseplants up there in the background, the beautiful scaevola that I have in the hanging baskets. I just turned them around yesterday so they don't look as full with blooms as they do on the other side that's actually facing inside towards my house. But I've got a hardy hibiscus coming in here that's getting ready to bloom. It's huge. This gorgeous, one of my favorite hostas on the property, by the way. I did not plant it, so I don't know the exact variety. Some of my subscribers have mentioned what they think it is, but I actually don't know the variety offhand. I really leaned into purples this year. I don't know if you could tell from up there on that porch, but I was really feeling the purple vibe this year. So I went in with all purples, and then in the fall, late summer, early fall, when this flowers all with yellow, I thought that would look really pretty and just kind of different, because last few years I've been really leaning into the pinks. This year I decided to go with a little more purple in the welcome garden. And then as we're coming up here, you can see my super tunias are all starting to come in and flower. I do have a bunch of celosia that likes to reseed here, so I don't plant anything back there. We did just cut back all of the flowering bulbs that were left. The foliage was done and it was time, and it looked really ratty and so bad. And given we're almost in July, it was time. So it looks a little bare here, but it will fill in over the next few months. I do have an allium that reseeded itself here. I've got a couple of other black-eyed Susans in here that reseeded themselves. But can we all just appreciate the view before we drill down on some of the plants here? So pretty, right? Like a little foggy morning. I think it's a little cooler today than it's been. I mean, we had literally 100 degrees for the last couple of days, and so this cool weather is like so welcome. I mean, so many of my plants started suffering because it was so hot. I couldn't even get to watering them all. Like, I noticed my Empress Wu hostas on the backside of the cottage that I've showed you in prior videos, they suffered a little bit. during the heat wave. But I mean, you know, only the fittest shall survive. So anyway, let's talk about some of the plants that we have here. I've got some agastache, deep purple salvia. I can't wait to see that grow. I think it's gonna look so good as we move through the season into the fall with my black-eyed Susans and all the celosia. I do have some salvia, May night. Let's see, what else do I have in here? Some yarrow, which actually is starting to fall over. We had a lot of rain and I think it just all came down. This is actually the first year that's done that. I might have to prop it up with those half moon stakes just to kind of get them back upright. I think I'm gonna do that today since the weather's kind of cool. And then we've got this gorgeous coneflowers. I love the combination, by the way, those coneflowers with this yarrow. So pretty. My zinnia border that I all started from seed indoors under grow lights are all coming in, looking really pretty. This tick seed. Got some nepeta in here. I love nepeta. My penstemon just wrapped things up. Phlox still going. Bee balm still flowering. What else? Some more agastache. Look at that one. So pretty. I did a bunch of different supertunias in this border. I leaned in the pinks and the purples. That's kind of the vibe that I went with, and I planted them in drifts instead of like interspersing them and mixing and matching the colors. So I did like one variety, I did like 5, and then I did another one and another one, and I just kind of like laid them out. So you'll notice I have my Gomphrena Truffula Pink under these wire cloches, and that is because I am having a rabbit issue with them, and I wanted to ensure they came back. So even though repellent helps, I did want to make sure that I could get them to grow back without any nibbles at all, and so I've been protecting them under the cloches, and that has really helped keep them away. I also planted some trailing hydrangeas here, 2 different varieties. They're very small right now. They didn't flower. It's probably going to take them a few years to really take off, but they're going to look really nice here long term. And then finally, I've got my hardy hibiscus that I planted last year that is growing and doing really well. So I'm really hoping to see my Gomphrena kind of fill in a little bit more, and you know, eventually this hardy hibiscus is going to get really big. So I don't know that it's going to get huge this season since I just planted it last year, but it'll be a decent size and eventually it will really fill in. This actually was filled in with all of that English ivy that's over there, and it stopped about here and it looked really weird. So last year I was like, I got to pull all this out. So pulled it all out, planted it up. I don't know, I may wind up doing more in the fall because it's just so aggressive. Like, do you grow English ivy? It is so aggressive. Really pretty, but a little aggressive, and I'm all about the flowers. So I'm digging where this is going. I do want to get more low growing shrubs in here over time. I think I want to add maybe an evergreen over there just to kind of add a little structure to the garden. But overall, I love how this is coming along. When we first moved in, there was nothing in this bed. And, you know, I think the former homeowners used to just plant annuals here. I remember they had celosia and some amaranth. The amaranth never reseeded, but the celosia definitely did. And I just knew that there was nothing here. And so the first season we were here, I planted a bunch of perennials. Some of them came back, like this yarrow and the coneflowers, but tick seed, I actually had planted a few. They did not return. I had planted a few penstemon. They did not return. So I think this fall, I'm really going to work on this bed, divide perennials around the property, and kind of make this look a little less wildflower-like, because that's kind of what it looks like, right? Like it's getting that wildflower vibe, which I don't mind per se, and it is very pretty, but I really, really, really want this to fill in a little bit more and be a little less maintenance. And then on this side of the garden, which I haven't really shown you guys all that much, I mean, I've shown it to you, but not really that often. We've got a beautiful abelia, really one of my favorite shrubs on the property. It attracts a lot of butterflies and it looks really pretty from the front porch as you're looking towards the swing. So pretty. We've got this dwarf albarada spruce that's really got a nice shape. Weigela. There is a hardy hibiscus back there that does flower. Some penstemon that's done. These, I cannot even believe these pansies are still here and going, but they are. I had moved some yarrow over here, and last year when I moved it, the rabbit just mowed it down. This year I sprayed it and was able to keep it going. There's some stilby back there. And I'm actually planning on redoing this bed at some point. I wanted to do like some hydrangeas along the front of the porch. I haven't gotten around to it yet. Instead, I've got this massive shrub that is just way too big for this garden. I mean, look at it. It like blocks the whole porch. So eventually I want to do something with that, but you know, I just haven't gotten there yet. I do have, like I said, some more pansies. I've got my false indigo that wrap things up here, and my mums, which actually I got to cut back halfway because I don't want them blooming just yet. It's a little too early. It's not even July. We got a boxwood. I've got some Shasta daisies here and some sedums, as well as some bacopa that I just planted in these planters with these pretty obelisks, just because I wanted like a solid color and trailing down this year. I really didn't want to go too crazy with the plantings. We head onto the porch. I've got my false indigo here, done flowering, was so pretty, and it looked so good with the scavola and the hanging baskets. We will get these really cool seed pods that I leave up for a little while. I've got to cut that back. That definitely reseeded there, and you can't walk on the walkway. So we're gonna have to cut that one back. But it looked very pretty, and I really do love the way that it looks all season long. I do have some alliums, summer blooming alliums in here that the former homeowner planted. They flower in a white variety. And let's talk about the front porch. So we did a whole tour here in a prior video where we talked about all of the plants that I have on the porch. They're all doing great, I gotta tell you. They are all doing amazing. I did get a few newbies and some interesting changes. So first of all, my Monstera Thai Constellation got another leaf with the gorgeous fenestrations. Look at that. It is loving life out here on the front porch, like loving it. I actually wound up repotting it because when I checked it, I noticed roots just coming out the bottom, and I was like, you know what, it's doing so well, let's repot it. And so I bumped it up a size, and I'd like to use the clear nursery pots because number one, you can see the roots, you can see the moisture, so I know I don't need to water, and you can also kind of just see kind of how it's doing. Like, it's just so much better than like a dark nursery pot, and that's just what I like to use. My rubber plant, oh, I love it. Look, it's getting new leaves, and every time it gets a new leaf, it gets this like red outer covering, and then it like unfurls and opens. It's so pretty. It's so happy out here. I've got several different Rex begonias, which I love. I mean, that foliage just gets me every time. Look at that. What else do we have here? So, Nepenthes. Look at this. This has grown like crazy. And look, it's getting all of those little pitchers. This, when I got it, was like, I want to say it was here. And since I've gotten it outside in the humidity, look at it. It is like loving life. Let's see what other, I mean, I'm not going to go through every single plant because there's just so many, but my Compacta Hoya, one of my favorites. I love those little curly Q foliage. My Japanese Aurelia, really, really pretty. I just repotted this one also because it was getting a little cramped in the container. Again, repotted it in a clear nursery pot. My Rex begonia here looks a little sad, but that's only because I turned him to get a little bit more light. So especially since I have my houseplants up against the house. I have to turn them every now and again to make sure they get some even light. And so that's why that one looks a little bit funny. My Tradescantia, look at the foliage. Zabrina, so pretty. I love foliage as much as I do flowers. And so the houseplants are just awesome. This one back here, Hoya Black Margin. And this one's Hoya Compacta Variegated. I love it because as it gets new foliage, it gets these little bits of pink. This one's a newbie back here. I have to actually take the tag out. Ripsalis clavata. And it does bloom. It's kind of like a cactus, but isn't that so cool? I just think that is the neatest looking plant. So this one down here, and I'm gonna have to move my other pot out of the way. I just repotted. This one is a Sansevieria Ghost. Look at that cool foliage. Easy plant to grow. You don't have to be stuck with just like your average snake plant. Like look around and grab a cool one like this. Like look at that. Super easy to grow. Don't overwater it. I mean, I probably water my snake plants maybe like once a month, although outside maybe a little bit more often, but not really. I mean, they're just, you know, they just kind of like thrive on neglect. Really easy to grow. Also in the pot. And another thing that I should mention too is I generally make my own potting mix. You can use, you know, potting soil, but I like to make it like a little chunkier so that way it drains better. And you can buy pre-made bags of chunky soil, but the mix that I like to do is organic potting soil, perlite, orchid bark to kind of, you know, give it a really good drainage. And I also add some earthworm castings because that helps with good root development. My planters over here have seen better days. They were getting really overgrown, really leggy, so I just hacked it back, added a bloom booster. I had it outside the porch for a few days because I felt like it needed some sun. And so we're kind of rehabbing here right now. So we're just gonna ignore those. See, real life. Over here, look at all the plants. Look at them all. There's so many. We've got my philodendron Birkin. Look at that. So I actually just had to remove an all white leaf. It's not gonna photosynthesize, so you wanna remove it. And now I'm getting some better foliage on here. I've got my Palea. Look, it's getting some flowers. I don't really want it to flower, so I'm probably gonna cut that off. Tricolor Aglaonema. I bought this because my nephew is in the service and it reminded me of him and I thought it was really cool. And when it gets big enough, I'm gonna give some to my sister-in-law. And I love it. Isn't that cool foliage? This one is Hoya, I think it's Crimson Princess. Yep. I'm eventually gonna get her in a hanging basket. But for now, this is where we're residing. Then I've got, this one's a newbie. Burrow's Tail. Isn't that cool? I love the texture on this one. Easy to grow, super low maintenance. And I'm hoping to get these up off the ground this weekend. I just got to convince my husband to help me figure out where they should all go. Watermelon Peperomia. Then we've got Scindapsus. This one is Moonlight. Oops. One of my favorites, ZZ Plant Raven. Look at how the new growth emerges. Isn't that wild? And then it matures to just like dark foliage. I love that. Got a ficus here. I call it umbrella plant, but I'm gonna pop the name on the screen. It's definitely not umbrella plant, but look at the foliage. You get these big sweetheart leaves, and you need to stake it. You need some room. Easy to grow though, very easy to grow. This bottom leaf is turning yellow because it's old, it's mature, and This was one of the first leaves it grew, and over time, you know, if you see some yellowing leaves on the bottom, that just means it's old and it's done. So when it completely yellows, I'll take it off the plant. Another Tradescantia. I love the color on this one. Look at that. Philodendron gloriosum. Look at the foliage. This one also was one of the first leaves. I had ordered this through the mail, and it didn't look amazing when it arrived, but now that I've got it outside, it's looking way, way better. I've got another new plant here. This one is Philodendron tortum. Look at that cool foliage. I'm just gonna pick that up so you can see it. And then I've got Hoya insularis. Isn't that neat? And then over here, I'm not gonna pick it up, but this is my Begonia maculata. When I first got this plant, it did not look good. I ordered it online, it looked very sad, and then I got it outside last year. It flowered, it bloomed, and it is loving life. Look at that gorgeous foliage. With the polka dots, one of my favorite plants, really easy to grow. What else do I have here? Oh, I forget the name of this one. I think it's curly something. Thought I had the tag still, but look at it. It will eventually flower. I'll pop the name on the screen because I don't remember it offhand. I got it about 6 months ago. Let's see. Oh, here's another new one. And I am gonna butcher this name. Let me get the tag. It is Ella Phaglossum lanceolatum. We're just gonna say really pretty houseplant because I'm gonna butcher that. I'm actually new to this one, but I thought the foliage was really cool and the habit, so I can't wait to see this one grow. I got another new one here. This is a Hoya bella. I got another new one over here. This one is Columnia light prince. And then I've got my heartleaf philodendron here that I have growing up a little obelisk. Now I had this training up the wall in my front entry hall, and I just took it down and brought it outside just so it can get some, you know, natural light and humidity and all that kind of good stuff. Back here, I've got Pothos Marble Queen. I'm starting to train her to go up the moss pole. My Christmas cactus blooming again. My Christmas cactus blooms several times a year. Love, 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 love. And then I've got my another ficus here. This one's grown a lot since I first got her. Love. Then I've got my philodendron pink princess back there. She's thriving. Neon pothos. This is white wizard philodendron, also doing incredibly well. Again, with the older leaves yellowing, but the rest of the plant looks really good. What else do we have? I've got another philodendron here. And my aloe vera plant there. I've got a lot of aloe veras. Another philodendron Birkin. This is actually my daughter's. I'm kind of rehabbing it for her. It was up in her room. She just moved and we didn't take it just yet to her. So it needs a little help first before it goes. This one is Syngonium milk confetti. Look at the little pink spots on the leaves. Isn't that so pretty? Then over here, and I can't wait to really hang this one. This is my string of pearls variegated. Love, 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 love her. The way to water this one is to dip it in like a bucket of water so it really saturates the soil. If you just superficially water from the top, it almost doesn't water the plant enough. So it's really important to give it a really good full soak. Let's see, what else do we have in here? I've got Hoya Crimson Queen. Yep, I've got Queen and Princess. I've got a Staghorn Fern back there. I am going to mount this. I just haven't done it yet. Another Palea. And then I've got a beautiful Peperomia. I don't know the variety offhand. And then this one I just repotted. pilea. It's another pilea. And then this one is Cleopatra Sansevieria. Look at the cool foliage on that one. Isn't that wild? I gotta move this while I'm doing this. This was hung up somewhere else. This is another ficus. I thought this was so cool. I just got this one too. This is Ficus triangularis variegated. Look at how cute that is. Oh, I love the variegation. Peperomia. Golden Gate, I think? Yeah, Golden Gate. What else do I have in here? Oh, we'll move up. Let's see what else we have. Then we've got a couple more Syngoniums. Look at the foliage on that one. I've also got Philodendron, Jungle Boogie, and Ring of Fire in here. I just repotted these. As you can see, look at all the moisture. See, so I know I would not water this just by looking at the pot. We've got Hoya retusa. Isn't that neat? It'll eventually trail down. Syngonium batik. This one was not looking good when I first got it in the mail. It had a little frost damage from the travel, but it is bouncing back and looking really good right now. This beautiful Aglaonema. Look at the pink on that. Isn't that so pretty? Another Syngonium. And then this is Three Kings Syngonium. I've got a couple of Anthuriums. I think this one's Pink Flamingo. And over here, my Burrow's tail actually lost a couple of foliage, so I just kind of popped them in here. I have String of Frogs, not really doing so well. I've repotted it a couple times, keeps drying out. I actually put it in the smallest pot that I have, and I'm hoping it rebounds. If it does not rebound, I'm done with it. It has not been easy to care for, and I'm all about easy care, right? String of Hearts. I gave mine a haircut, the one that I showed you guys last week from the Zen Garden. I gave it a haircut. I repotted it in these small little pots and, you know, giving it a chance to root. And then over here, this is String of Turtles. And that's so cute. They do look like little turtles, right? I had given it a little bit of a haircut, and I'm actually going to be putting these in a terrarium. So I kind of wanted to propagate this so that I could do that. I'm gonna have one here, and then I'm gonna put one in a terrarium. On this side, I wanted to get my Hoya Croniana off the ground. It was just not loving it down there, but look, it's starting to get some flowers. It's already starting to get some flowers. It was not loving life, so I picked it up, and it actually seems to be doing a lot better. I do want to get it actually hanging. I just put it there for now just to get it up off the ground. Scaevola. And then this is a new variety of Calibrachoa. It actually is gonna start getting a new set of blooms. Really, really pretty. It's new for 2026, so you won't find it this year. Grows really well. I strongly suggest getting it and putting it in a container. I really love it in the one that I have here. I did it in a small concrete planter. Really, really pretty. I'm gonna pop some pictures up just so you can see what it looked like in full bloom. I mean, it's a little gloomy right now, but really this plant is spectacular. I've got a couple other snake plants here, a hibiscus, and that's about it. Oh, my split leaf philodendron in the corner. And you know, we have the seating area over here with the porch rockers. I love to be able to look out onto the property and just, you know, soak it all in. And that's it, you guys. Thanks so much for joining me in the Welcome Garden today. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Enjoy a beautiful day.